Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before I start talking, I'm going to check my audio. Ladies and gentlemen, it sounds good. Nice. Okay, good morning. How are we all doing? Welcome on twit.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. This is the man that we call Bibby in his room that appears wider than it has done for a while. Although it did actually look like that on Friday, but it's fine. How's things, Bib?
Yes, it's good, Graham.
Yeah.
High energy.
Yeah. Monday. Can you tell him on my second coffee? No, I can't even. It's fine. Whatever. It's fine. Yeah. I'm joking. Anyway, welcome in. How are we all doing? How is everyone? Welcome into the chat. For those of you who don't know, as mentioned, my name is Graham. This is Bib, and we together are Ice Cream Uploads. And in true ice creamy fashion, this is The Scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. As some may say, the UK's #1 video game podcast. I mean, we are those people that say that, but still, it counts. It counts. Anyway, we're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. And we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions, and it's important that you do. Get involved in the chat right now because we turn this live stream, we go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish. It's a big ish. It's 10:43. It's 10-ish. We go live on Twitch each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. ish, but we turn this into a podcast, a video for YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you're in the chat, please feel free to get involved. Give us your thoughts and impressions. And it's important so we can create that debate. Anyway, jumping back through the chat, I can see Show is in the chat, and he's brought his bot army with him. So nice one, Show. Cheers. Bring all the bots.
Shaggy's in the chat.
Shogun brings all the bots to the chat. Yeah. I don't know, how do I say this? MQL Pedeste? But thank you for checking out the rules and commands. But anyway, good morning. Show says the rules are don't be a C asterisk, that's cunt. Don't be a cunt and have a good time. You're goddamn right. Stupid question. Your intro is amazing. Seems like you've put a lot of work in it. That's true. We did. But I don't get when people do content on the internet and they cannot help themselves to bring a familiar TV, like doing screen transition with the snow sound effects. It was still the 50s. They didn't have TVs like that in the 50s. That's 80s. Why are people doing things on the internet so alienated with 70-year-old technology of TV? I mean, certain transition stuff. I mean, do you mean like the broadcast system stuff? Because it's not alienated technology. It's technology that led to where we are. There's nothing wrong with knowing where your roots are. There's nothing wrong with that. Scoop-de-whoop! Yay, sure. Viv Lang. Viv! Bibby casting for the next Rocky film. This is the Italian bid man. So it's somewhere between...
Wait, whoa. Rocky Balboa.
That's the one. You know. Yeah, Rocky Balboa. So it's somewhere between Rocky Balboa and Batman. Is it actually a Batman one? It is a Batman one, isn't it?
No. It is a Batman one, yeah.
But I thought...
Batman pajama bottoms on as well. Boom!
Yeah, I thought it was the Italian Stallion one, but yeah, it's a bit of both. The Rocky Balboa, that's the name. That's what we're going for. Morning, Viv, though. Morning! Mr. Platinum is in the house. Stop calling me that. God. Who have you got? Who are we talking about, Bib? What, the Astrobot Platinum?
It's our Christmas #1 single, mate. It's going straight for the Platinum.
You goddamn right.
10 a.m. It's not a real thing, by the way. I'm not getting my guitar out and sing like a cover of Wonderwall or something. It's not happening.
Go on, Bib. Give us a song.
Nope,
Go
never.
On, Go on, Bib.
9 bitter.
10 a.m.-ish. It's still within the 10 o'clock realm. It is. It's pretty good for us, to be fair. So there you go. Well, thank you for the answer. No worries. No, like I say, I mean, we have... we're children of the 80s. Or at least I am. I don't know if Bib is. It might just be.
I missed out by 12 months and 9 days.
See,
but 80s is the best period anyway, regardless, even if I was not born there. Best music, best time for literally everything. 80s is just such a iconic decade and something that I can resonate with even as a 90s child.
So there you go. So that is the reason why we've got the retro styling. So yeah, it's just the design style. There's nothing wrong with wanting to look back with fond memories. But anyway, a bit of history goes a long way, says Potbank. Agreed. Viv says fans self. You goddamn right. Anyway, welcome in. How's everyone been? Have you all been playing PS5 games over the weekend? Or Xbox Series X games over the weekend? What have you been doing? Have you been wanting to play PS5 and Xbox Series X, but not? Do you know, actually saying that? I saw someone on my Facebook Marketplace pretty much causing a kickoff because they were selling a PS5 for £450, which is what they bought it for. Imagine that. Imagine that. People getting all insulting in the comments. Some guy that was a bit heavy-handed instantly going in with the, I'll give you 550 for it. Well, you're clearly going to scalp it, aren't you? You're going to take 550 and turn that into £900. So yeah. Hopefully you've been doing what you wanted to do. Nice. I have a little bit of a confession to make. I may have a PS5. And I may have spent the weekend playing Fortnite on it rather than playing Spider-Man. Only because I'm level 75 now in the Battle Pass and I want to get Iron Man before it disappears in like 8 days. So Spider-Man has had to wait. But I did finish Astrobot on the first day, so there is that as well. Not Platinum Day, but there you go. Mr. T is in the chat. Yeah, Mr. Tassim Anvia. I received my Series S today. I saw the box before the wife will whisk it away for Christmas. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, that's devastating. But see, Samantha's got me my PS5 for my 30th, which, by the way, is early parts of next month. 9th of December.
Just want to point out that Bib's birthday is a long time away. I mean, a week on Thursday is much closer than Bib's birthday, and that's my birthday. Just say, yeah.
Well, isn't Shogun's around the same time as well? Shogun the Shagger?
No, I don't think so. Nah.
We don't count his, do we?
Nah,
don't count his. I mean, it's his 40th this year, so
again,
that's irrelevant. Again.
Wow, how many times has that man been 40? Love you, 4th of December. Oh, fuck off!
Every time.
Love you, sure. Where did we get to? PS5 says Gary. Nice. Yeah, this series. I've got the PS5 for my birthday and Christmas. So like a bit of a split between both of them. I do have some other bits as well, but yeah, I have that now. Daniel was like, I'll get it for your birthday and Christmas. Like, yeah. I'm not waiting till my birthday though. There's no way.
One's waiting. Imagine that, having to wait like another 2 weeks. Well, it's been delivered. All the excitement, seeing all the social posts, and yours has been wrapped up underneath the tree. It's not happening, is it?
Viv's in that situation. Sorry, Viv.
No, I'm not rubbing it in or anything, but I like it.
Enjoy the meeting, dude. Mr. T says, it's all I've done. Platinum Astro and Spidey Miles. So you've platinumed them both. Nice. Good effort, Mr. T.
That's a weekend well spent, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Down Dino is comedic. I was like trying to read this. Downdin. Killer Queen has already touched this stream. She's a killer. Queen, touch my... Okay, never mind. Love you too, assholes. Yeah. Bibby will be flying out on his private jet to Monaco for his 40th.
Yeah. But then I'll have two private jets.
That's actually not true, Garrett. That's not true. Bibby owns Monaco, so he will already be there for his 40th. That's
tax-free state, tax-free country. You know, it's a tax-free town. I'll take that.
Morning, Gagadi says, good morning, gents. Welcome in. So we'll jump into the news. Let me jump into the split screen before we do jump into the news stuff. So we can see maybe a little bit bigger. There he is. Hey! I do like that cam. Because you get to see more of the shelf of goodies and stuff behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You got to see Sonic and his Moose Juice addiction. That was all there was there previously. But now we get to see the full thing.
I've got this that I've not put up yet. When we get paid, I'm going to buy an A3 frame. I've had this for forever. I've just not put it up yet. But it's the Panini stickers of the PES 5 players.
There you can see big old Lolo, 3rd in, 2 down. Woof. Lolo, he's Castolo. Lolo. If that doesn't make any sense to you, then you've not been watching our Master League series, have you? So there you go. Anyway, we will jump into today's news. I'm going to see if Chrome works. It's probably not gonna. I'm probably going to have to reset the source because Streamlabs reasons. I forget. I'll take your cookies. Fine. Is it going to open? No, it's not. Okay.
What's everyone else been playing this weekend then? There's been a lot of platinum trophies I've seen being knocking around the social media platform of Twitter. But what's everyone else been playing?
PUBG. Fortnite.
Okay. No, not.
Has anyone been playing Cyberpunk? So it turns out that someone has. Hey, written by Adam Bankhurst, IGN. It says Cyberpunk 2077 physical copies appear to be in the wild, so beware of spoilers. Be careful, samurai, says the tagline. It appears that physical copies of Cyberpunk 2077 have appeared in the wild, so beware of spoilers and leaks on the internet. Redditor just gonna send it. My God, Redditor. What was that about? I'll start again. Redditor just gonna send it. Shared an image of Cyberpunk 2077's physical game case and claims to have held it in his hands at his Amazon job. This comes well before Cyberpunk 2077's current release date of December the 10th, 2020, and means the risk of being spoiled by those who somehow obtain an early copy are now greater. And there you go. There's an embedded image of the Reddit post. We're almost there, boys. I actually had the game in my hands. So this particular Cyberpunk 2077 game case is for the PS4 version of the game and features a sticker that states a free PS5 upgrade is available to those who have a PS5 console with a disk drive. Excuse me 1 second. Dying. Cyberpunk 2077's game case also confirms that the game, at least on PS4, will come on 2 Blu-ray discs. Furthermore, those who opt for a physical copy will receive a world compendium, stickers, postcards, a game map, and digital content access. Just gonna send it also shared a couple of other images, including one of the back of the box and one of a bunch of Cyberpunk 2077 game cases. Even though we still have to wait a little bit longer for Cyberpunk 2077, a lot has already been revealed about the game in that video if you want to see it there. But, you know, that's a segue. That's a segue. The game is, funnily enough, coming out in, what was it, like 3 weeks? Something like that. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see that it's physically there. But absolutely 100% now. This is the kind of bit where you... Actually, not even you. Where CD Projekt Red, where the Cyberpunk channels, when they start posting stuff now, this is where they need to turn off all of the who can reply. Because we had it with The Last of Us. The asshats of the internet just want to see the world burn. So be careful, because there will be many, many, many spoilers and things starting to roll out now. If guys in warehouses have it, and this is just the guy that works in packaging or whatever it is, if he has it, you absolutely know that someone somewhere is already 12 hours into it and screenshotting the shit out of it just to spoil it all over the internet. So anyway, Bib, thoughts?
Yeah, like you say, I think now would be probably a perfect time to start to mute. I mean, it doesn't do wonders for the people who are creating it that are trying to do social media stuff around it. But in terms of if this is the game that you've been waiting for all year, and it's the story that you want to get involved in, again, it's not going to do wonders for their engagement rates and their social media analytics. But for your own personal benefit, now might be a time to start to mute that hashtag, because you are now they're starting to drop into people's hands. You are starting to, or you will begin to start seeing a lot more from this game. That is, if it doesn't get delayed again. If it gets delayed again, I don't know what that's going to mean for this game, because people are already pissed that it got delayed by 2 weeks initially. It got delayed. Was it 2 or 3 weeks it got delayed by this time? It wasn't by a lot, was it?
It was like the 19th of November to the 10th of December, so
yeah,
whatever that is.
Yeah, so like 3.5 weeks. The day after my birthday, funnily enough. But yeah, I can't wait for this game. Whenever it comes, I can't wait to be able to get in and play it. The thing that I have gotten absolutely zero time for is people who, fair enough, they want the social media clout at some point, and if they're willing to be able to try and hype up the levels from their side or spoil it for others, they'll do that regardless. But I think it wasn't that long ago that we actually said that these are going to start to drop into people's hands in the coming days, and lo and behold, a week later, they have started to do that. So yeah, just brace yourself. If you don't want to know anything about this game, just please mute the hashtags on your social media platform of your choice, because this will start now to fall onto your timeline. We are 2.5 weeks away from launch now. It's going to happen. It is unfortunately going to happen.
I mean, the games have been printed a long, long while ago. There was that whole kickoff that we brought up about 4 weeks ago, when Jeff Keighley jumped on the fact that you said that it's gone gold. Yes, just because it's gone gold doesn't mean that the game is finished. It's far from it. When it's gone gold, what we mean is the physical discs have been printed. We've hit a point where the game can release but it doesn't necessarily mean that all the bugs have been squashed or all the extra content or all the fine tweaks and so on. We have a launch product, and that is what that picture is. So I'll bring the picture back on screen for you. That will have been printed when they said it's gone gold. That won't have been just done in the last 3 weeks. That will have been done 8 weeks ago, longer than that maybe. It's just a case of after it's all been printed, all the logistic stuff kicks in. So obviously little things like, obviously the disc gets printed, then that gets put into a plastic sleeve that has these in the box stickers and the PS5 upgrade stickers and stuff put on afterwards as well. Obviously not necessarily manually, that's all automated process. So all that stuff happens and then still comes out. So these discs will have been around from when it first got announced in terms of the planning of the timeline. They will have just been sat a little bit more stationary since then. So the fact that we're now seeing them though means that I can't see, not that I'd expect it when we're 2.5 weeks to go, but it's not going to get delayed now. If discs are out there, this is going to run. But just because this is a dude in an Amazon warehouse and he hasn't opened it, doesn't necessarily mean that that's not going to come. There will be logistical weaknesses, as they are in all games. Because if you want your game to go worldwide, you have to send it to Amazon and their distribution network. You have to send it to everyone else on their distribution network. Some distribution networks involve second, third, fourth, fifth hand exchanges that you as CD Projekt Red can't control. So there will be some. Is that the cat? I can see the cat.
You jump up then. I should jump down.
So there will be some second, third, fourth, sixth, however many steps down the chain. Some people that will just go, yeah, okay, I'm going to give it to my mate a little bit early. I mean, we've seen it with games we work on. So Pez last year was being spoiled about 4 weeks early because some guy had got it from either his retailer or the distributor early and just shared all the content on it. Git. So yeah, it will start to happen with this. I mean, Pez is a game that's in demand for its community. Cyberpunk is a game that's in demand for all communities.
The world.
Yeah, exactly. So this will be something that you do want to keep in mind. Jumping back through the chat though, it has moved on a little bit. He's going to rename Monaco to Bibico.
Bibico.
Sounds like some sort of international conglomerate. Hi, welcome to Bibico. Good morning, Bonsai. Hi, lads. Hey, James says,
morning,
Last of Us Part 2, at long last. Are you enjoying it? What are your thoughts? Steel Bonsai has been playing PES 2021 and PUBG. How are you finding PES? What are your thoughts? What the person with this copy doesn't know is that Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed again. No! I want to see a bloody...
There is a possibility that it will get delayed again.
No, not now. We're seeing it put out into logistics, because not into logistics, into what's the word I'm looking for? The pipeline. Let's just put it that way. Now it's in the pipeline. That means that someone has to sit on it if it gets delayed now. And you can't give it to a retailer and go, you've got very limited floor space or shelf space or whatever, but here's 1,000 copies of a game that we actually want to not sell for 4 weeks. That's not going to happen. You can't expect stores to hold on to stock without any form of recompense. That they'd have to pay something for them to do that. If that was the case, I imagine even that wouldn't be a thing. So it's going to happen. I want to see a bloody Xbox Series X in the wild. I will hunt that bad boy down for sure. Good morning, Merc. How's things, dude? How's things? It'll get delayed again, says Ads. No, it won't. Press and influencers will start getting copies next week at the latest, I think. Yeah, I reckon so. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it starts already. Like you say, next week, definitely latest. It might have started already, but I wouldn't be surprised if it starts from this week, because it's... How long did they say? Was it around 30 to 40 hours or something like that? 40 to 50? They said it was a big game, but they didn't want it to be like an exhaustive game so that people would finish it and not have to and not like give up.
It's got replayability.
Yeah, so... But even still, 30 to 40 hours when people have just got the PS5s, when people are... Obviously, if you've got Cyberpunk on the PS5 launch day, then that's it. You're going to play Cyberpunk. But if you get the PS5 and then have to wait a few weeks for Cyberpunk, you're going to start playing Spider-Man Miles Morales. You're going to start playing Godfall. You're going to start playing any other next-gen titles, Valhalla's and things like that. So content creators that have content to make on those games will need a little bit more time to make sure that Cyberpunk is something that they can do as well. So yeah, I imagine definitely it'll be in hands at some point now, just so that people can start creating their content series on it. I find it difficult these days to get hyped up about these so-called big games coming out, because most of the time they just don't live up to the hype around it, and I have a feeling this will be the same as Cyberpunk. See, I find that most of the big games that I play do live up to the hype. So, I mean, just had The Last of Us 2 mentioned. I haven't played Last of Us 2, but used The Last of Us as an example. Last of Us, massive hype, loved it. Spider-Man, which is my only true next-gen game, loved it. So yeah, for me, the big games I tend to find do live up to the hype. The big single player games for me do. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, a lot of hype around that. I really enjoyed that. That was probably my game of the year last year. I know there was issues with it and not everyone loved it, but I genuinely liked it. So yeah, I'm quite excited. I do worry about Cyberpunk being so big, with so much going on. My worry is that it's like this. Assassin's Creed gets a lot of criticism of the fact that there's just too much to do, and my worry is that is the case with Cyberpunk. From what I'm hearing, there's so many different Night City wires, the different kind of characters and skills that you essentially can be, and my worry is that that's so much stuff in it that sounds amazing. I don't want it to become a chore, and that was kind of Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption, an incredible game. Red Dead Redemption 2 was a bit chory, which is the reason why I've not finished it yet. So that's my worry with Cyberpunk. So I do see the worry, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, Mr. T will platinum it in about 48 minutes, so we'll know. Very true, Bonds. I haven't been excited about a game release in years, which is sad. Really? Of none of the I mean, then again, you play it on Xbox, so that explains it. A bit of console banter. Yeah. To be fair, I mean, I'm not a PlayStation fanboy. I'm not an Xbox fanboy either. I tend to lean towards PlayStation, but I've been very excited about a number of PlayStation releases over the last few years. And without sticking the sword into Xbox, I haven't been excited about any Xbox releases. I'm a person that absolutely adored Gears of War in the early days. By the time we got to Gears 5, it's just the story, everything about it, the outward marketing, there's no real character building for someone to jump into it. Everything was just a bit stale. Forza, not really a racing guy. Halo, I was never really into. So maybe it's that. I don't know if you've got a PlayStation as well. Maybe it's just Xboxy kind of stuff. Hasn't been exciting in that sense. That said, probably over the next 5 years you'll have some incredible games with the amount of studios that Xbox has purchased over the last 5, 6, 7 years. So that'll change. It'll change. YouTubers already have a copy. I saw 3 with it in their backgrounds. Lies. It was just Bib. And that's not Cyberpunk.
Anyone wants 110 quid.
Bib, that was a gifted copy that you can't sell for profit, like that fucking, what is it? Only
Made in Chelsea guy.
Oh my god! Did anyone see
what
that?
A wanker.
Did anyone see that story? The guy from Made in Chelsea that was gifted a PlayStation. So I've got a PS5. #gifted. Not only did he piss people off at first by tagging at Playing Station 5, Playing Station 5. I've got an at Playing Station 5. #gifted. He then went and sold it a few days later. This was a PR console that he was given for free. Sold it for 1,200 quid and said, the PS4 is better. Anyway, I'm sticking with that. So not only did he get something that he didn't really want, he credited the account wrongly, and then he undermined their generosity by giving it away to some other people and saying their previous hardware was better. So yeah, get the fuck in the bin. Honestly. Well, he's not going to get any more content and product from PlayStation, is he really? So there you go. That's what you get. I still think this game doesn't actually exist, and CD Projekt Red are just carrying on their April Fool's Day joke from 3 years ago. Imagine, sucker! You just open it up like that. You like do the polythene wrap, take it all off, crack the case, and then it's just one of those like bumf cards that just like fires crap into your face. Lol. Where are we going? Where are we going? Spider-Man isn't next gen. It's on PS4 too. Miles Morales is next gen at its core, but that's the thing with the generations that we have. Right now, PlayStation is next gen, but isn't because it's making it for the last gen as well. There's very little that's purely next gen. But if it uses ray tracing and plays in 4K, then yeah, it's next gen for me. That's fine. Ray tracing 4K, that's next gen enough. I mean, to be fair, just use the DS5, the DualSense. I keep calling it a 5. There's no 5 on it. The DualSense controller, that is next gen. Any game you play on that is next gen. God.
It's still, to me, it's going to be a DualShock 5, even though it's a complete different terminology. But you can't go into 4 different legacies of this console and then change it on the 5th. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, DualShock, DualShock 2, DualShock 3, DualShock 4, DualSense 5.
You can't do it. Changing the game. Changing the
game. Moved. Chat's just disappeared. Where did we get to it? My God, there's so much chat going on. It didn't look like there was that much. Yes, Bonds, I played it 4 hours. It's very frames on the Xbox One, unfortunately, and the fight mechanic is hit and miss. What game is this? What game is this? I'm trying to catch up with this.
The Last of Us 2?
It can't be because it's on Xbox. Okay, I will keep skipping it. I will keep skipping.
It's quite big.
Yeah, on the flip side, says Mr. T, I'm super excited. Hyped! Such a great time to be gaming now. We're spoiled for quality and quantity.
There's genuinely not enough time to be able to play all of these games. Like, I've been meaning for the longest time to get back into Elder Scrolls, but I can't. I've just not got the time. Like, you'd think being at home all the time, I'd have the time, but I don't have the time to have the time to have the time to be able to play these games to have the time.
It's because there's so many games that are so good that take so much time as well. That's the thing. James says, I'm loving Last of Us 2 so far. Gruesome and so engaging as Cyberpunk. I really hope it does live up to the hype as it's now in the wild. I'll turn off social media to saw loads of spoilers for Last of Us. Yeah, same. I think that's probably the reason why I've not jumped straight into The Last of Us, because I'm trying to hope I can forget it before I play it. Popbank says, I worry for Cyberpunk. It just looks like it could be too much in one game, which may cause it to fall apart. Agreed, says Steel Bonsai. I think sometimes it can be overkill. I mean, that's just a worry. I mean, it might not be. It might be exceptionally balanced. They have put a lot of time into tweaking bugs and changing things so that they could. I mean, GTA has so much content in that it's enough to make you go, nope. But if you play that game and get into it, it all just makes sense and it all slots together. So hopefully,
it's all about pace, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully it does not overwhelm you and overload you or over expect from you. That's when it becomes a chore. Hopefully it doesn't. I imagine with the amount of time and effort and quality that's gone into it, and this is not a company that's never made video games before. They've made The Witcher, which has a shitload of quality in it and content, and has received Game of the Year awards, so they know what they're doing in that sort of sense. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's just my worry going into it, that's all. Just my opinion. A lot of the game community is too caught up in it, nitpicking, arguing, analysing that the fun gets less. Yeah, I'm hyped for Cyberpunk and gaming in general right now. Red Dead Redemption games are the same. Shots fired. I was PlayStation for many years. Was that shots fired? Me talking about Xbox? I didn't mean to shoot fire shots. Yeah, there we go. I was PlayStation for many years, then switched from my PS4 to the Xbox One X and been Xbox since. Yeah, there's no wrong with that. I mean, just use whatever one works for you. I mean, I played on the Xbox Series S until my mates got PlayStations, and then that was PUBG. But even still, yeah, I was PlayStation, Xbox, PlayStation. Just depends on where it is. Usually, I end up having both in each generation, in some form or other. So yeah, you do you. Hey guys, how's it going?
There's any generation that you can actually get both. It's this one, considering how cheap both the consoles are. If you want to get the digital editions.
So, all right, stop taking the piss. If there's any generation where you can actually get both, yeah, all right. People are trying, Bib. Stop rubbing it in.
Sorry, I've only got 1 out of 2. It's not bad.
Agreed. People expect everything to be perfect because they paid £50 for a game. That's not how it works. Says Mr. Clark. Joystick Junkies says, "Hey guys, how's it going? Thought I'd tune in. Slow day in the office here. Well, do you know what? It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much. Merck says, I watched a clip on YouTube on thermals for PS5, and I think there may be issues in 6-9 months as the RAM is operating at high temps during gameplay. I'm not knocking the console, just putting it out there. I mean, I'm coming from PS4 Pro, where I've had thermal issues from 4 minutes in, so I'd take 6 to 9 months.
Very good shout.
I think it's fine to be critical, but do think much of the but do you think much of the game community goes overboard with it? There we go. It gets lost in it all, and the fact that it's genuinely a great time to be gaming. I agree. Seen no end of issues people have had with the PS5. I've not seen no end. I have seen issues with, there was like a reboot bug or something like that, in terms of the game forgetting shit or something, rebooting, and then having to rebuild the database is what it comes up with. I've seen that. I've not seen much beyond that.
Well, that's a very good segue into the next news story if you want to go that way.
I'm going to go a different way. I am going to go.
Okay.
There we go. Oh, good lads, I love both consoles and would love to have both. Oh, well, we all would. The downside with having both consoles is that you just don't have enough time to play all of the games. I mean, there is a lot of games out there for this gen and for the next gen. If you are moving towards the next gen, Sony has give you an opportunity to jump into. I mean, I'm going to call it the next gen, even though they are the previous generation's games. The PlayStation Plus Collection. We've spoken about it on the show before. If you don't know what that is, the PlayStation Plus Collection is a series of games that came out on PS4. So things like Uncharted 4 and other first-party games like The Last of Us Remastered, but also other games like Mortal Kombat 10 and so on. So to give you a big step into the next gen with hard-hitting, high-level games. Obviously, not the number of games that you get on Game Pass, but consistently high-hitting games. So there's still a lot there for you to jump in with. However, the question that we've asked ourselves is one that has been asked to PlayStation, and they have given an answer to it. If you want to know what that question is, the next article written by Tom Ivan at VGC says, Sony says it is yet to decide if it will expand the PlayStation Plus collection. So there's a library of 20 PS4 games that is available to PS5 players with a PlayStation Plus subscription. Sony Interactive Entertainment claims it hasn't decided if PS5's PlayStation Plus collection will be expanded beyond its initial launch lineup. Announced in September, the PlayStation Plus collection is a library of 20 PS4 games which PlayStation Plus subscribers can play on PS5. Asked if there are any plans to grow the collection, which currently consists of 10 first-party games and 10 third-party ones, listed below, PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan told GQ Sony is taking a wait-and-see approach. Well, we're going to wait and see how the world receives the Plus collection, he said. You know which games are played, how much they're played, before we make any decisions about that. We think it's potentially going to be a great user acquisition tool. Arguably, if you never had a PS4 and you choose to buy a PS5, you basically get a PS4, right? Ryan has previously said that a subscription model like Xbox Game Pass doesn't make any sense for Sony's first-party operation, considering its focus on big-budget games. But in another interview published this week, he suggested Sony may have an ace up its sleeve to counter Xbox Game Pass. There is actually news to come, but just not today, Ryan told Russian news agency TASS when asked how PlayStation will respond to Microsoft's service. We have PlayStation Now, which is our subscription service, and that is available in a number of markets. PlayStation Now had over 2.2 million subscribers as of April 2020, according to Sony, up from 1 million in October 2019. So there you go. There's the PlayStation Plus collection games. Days Gone, which Bib is playing right now. Obviously Bloodborne, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Infamous, and about 16 other games that I'm not going to bother listing out because you guys have got eyes and can read. But there you go. So you don't have to worry about having a PS5 if you have a PS5 right now and you've got the PlayStation Plus collection. You're working your way through it thinking, God, there's just not enough time. Well, you don't have to worry about that in that sense for too long because they aren't sure whether other games would be added to that. This is interesting. I feel like when you've got games like, obviously God of War is in this, Horizon isn't in this, Horizon Zero Dawn, but there's Horizon Forbidden West coming. I would be absolutely baffled to not see Horizon Zero Dawn be included in the PlayStation Plus collection. So let all PlayStation Plus users play the game as a tee up to play the next game, as they've done with God of War. God of War is in there, and Ragnarok will be coming in the future, so people can download and play God of War ahead of Ragnarok. It would baffle me if they didn't add to the PlayStation Plus collection, and this just became a really, really good deal for one time only, and it's gone. Fire and forget. That would absolutely baffle me. Then again, if they do have some form of Game Pass counter, then yeah, that I suppose having it in that does kind of make sense as well. But anyway, big thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, It's not only is the game collection just first party games. It's obviously got some absolute banging third party games with like Arkham Knight. It's got a Call of Duty game in there. It's got a Battlefield game, Fallout 4, Resident Evil 7, Mortal Kombat. You get the gist. So having third party games in there is massive. So it's not as if they just need to keep it in house. Like you said, if they're going to be teeing up the new Horizon game, putting the original one or the first one would be a massive step, a massive thing on there. Include, I don't know, maybe the Tomb Raider games. I don't know. I think it would be a great idea going forward. But I mean, they're giving it away for free, and something else as well that I didn't know until I watched the video yesterday. If you have a PlayStation 5 and you redeem them, you can then go and play these on your PlayStation 4.
I did not know that.
So, for instance, I'll just pick a name out of the chat. The Joystick Junkies. How's it going, guys? If they didn't have a PlayStation 5 and they already had a PlayStation 4, if he give me his username and password, I can go in, redeem all of the games on the list, sign out. He can then play all of those games on his PlayStation 4. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I knew that. So the caveat, obviously, is this offer is only available to users that have PS Plus and a PS5. I thought it was like you had to be like your primary console or that kind of thing. I didn't realize that you could just log in on any PS5 and download.
So you could do that for Chloe, for instance, if she really, really wanted to play The Last of Us Remastered on her console. She could just log in, get it, bosh. Ratchet and Clank, same thing.
I mean, she's not playing The Last of Us Remastered.
But yeah, it's you can go in and be able to do that. So it is. I like the way that they're going with it. It's obviously something that they may want to try and expand to be able to keep up with Games Pass, but we talked about this last week. Is Games Pass sustainable going forward? They are. I think Xbox, in my opinion, aren't really bothered about the hardware sales. They are trying to find multiple ways to try and get people to use the Xbox brand, whether or not that'll be selling it as a third party program to the likes of Nintendo to use on the Nintendo Switch and be able to stream and download these games. I think they're more bothered about the software side of things, which isn't a bad thing for them. I don't think they'll be able to keep up in terms of console sales again across the board and keep up with Sony, and that isn't a bad thing because Sony is a juggernaut that the train keeps on going. But in terms of the software side of things, Games Pass is still untouchable regardless of how many games get put into this PlayStation Plus collection, especially with the acquisition of ZeniMax, all the Bethesda games, and id Software, everything that goes underneath that is absolutely massive. So yeah, I think in terms of software stuff, Xbox will continue to be in front. It's just whether or not PlayStation wants to try and expand this collection. I think it would be in their best interest, but it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't also, because the games that are on this, if you miss the games for the last generation like I did, some unbelievable games on there, then this is the best way to be able to try and experience them, especially as some of them will be better on your PlayStation 5, for instance.
There's so many good games in that list as well. So many good games that I've started and gone, these are amazing, I need to play these. But because they're so good that I want to sit down and like headspace completely. Everything's out the room, just this, and then never actually finish it. So Detroit Become Human, amazing game. Days Gone, from what I've heard, in all intents and purposes, from opinions that I value anyway, great game. Last of Us Remastered, incredible game. And more. So there's so much stuff there. The way that Jim Ryan explained it, saying the fact that it's basically you're buying a PS5 and you get a PS4 thrown in for free. I love that sort of description because there's so much in there. Not everything. And if you're not into big like AAA single player games, which not everyone is, then okay, maybe it's not as exciting a deal for you. But for someone that's absolutely that demographic, that 100% speaks to me. I would love them to keep going with that because we all know Game Pass is the best deal in gaming, and PlayStation have taken a step towards that with the PS Plus collection. If they do go a step further and have something that counters that or answers that further down the road, as Jim Ryan said in that Russian interview, then wonderful. I only take that with a pinch because even though it was a very non-PR answer. So PR will go, oh, I don't know, we will see. Game Pass is a really good thing. But we're going to focus on what we're doing, is usually the kind of thing that they'd say. So not say anything at all. He's said, yes, we have something to answer that, but not today. I just hope that's what he said. The fact that it was a Russian interview and I've not seen it directly myself makes me think, has it been mistranslated? I don't know. But if PlayStation are taking something from Microsoft, from Xbox, and have something that's even slightly emulates Game Pass, then I'm on board for that. The issue that we have though is what we spoke about last week in terms of, is Game Pass long term sustainable? I'm not entirely sure. I don't believe it is. Be that financially or be that in terms of game options and quality, I'm not sure, but we will see.
I think you'd have to keep on putting different games, like newer games, onto it. I think they fall into a trap now where people expect the first party games to come out and instantly be available on Games Pass. Obviously, that's something that they may want to do, but if your games are taking, if there's months and months between a AAA game coming out and going onto Games Pass, and then 7 or 8 months later another game drops onto it, are people going to keep their Games Pass subscription going for the 8 months? And I think that's what they want to try and get to people to do: pay their subscription every single month, even if they forget about it. It's 80 quid in their pocket, which is more than the game.
It's like paying for Sky Movies and Sky Sports. You might only get like one decent premiere a month, but you pay for it every week. It's like, fuck it. We pay for Sky Movies. Don't get fake it. We hardly watch it at all. We spend all the time on Netflix. Maybe we'll watch it once every few weeks, especially now when no new films have come out over the last year. Pretty much, Sky's like, well, we're just getting free money and we're not doing anything. So yeah, the same sort of thing in there. I mean, if you are releasing one game a quarter, then people are effectively spending 30 quid per game, because if they paid £10 a month for 12 months and you release 4 games in that period, it works out 30 quid each. Fine. But now Xbox has jumped to so many different studios. If they release just Bethesda titles, that could be 4 titles in the quarter, and then they release a Halo game, and then they release a Forza game. Suddenly they're only earning 20 quid per game then, in that sort of sense. So do the economies scale right enough there? And yeah, I'm not sure. I don't have the stats, but yeah, it's something I am dubious around. Let's jump back into the chat. I was playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 yesterday with my son, and we had a blast. Hope to try out the other Star Wars games now. It's on Game Pass. Star Wars Battlefront 1 is one of my all-time favourite multiplayer games. Star Wars Battlefront 2 I just could not get into. I've mentioned this many times. I was hugely disappointed with it early on. But yeah, there you go. Horizon Zero Dawn is a PS Plus game for December. Is it? Interesting. I mean, that gives me the freedom to throw it into the PS Plus collection then. If it's already been on PS Plus, put it in the collection. Go for it. So nice. When someone says Horizon Forbidden West, I think Horizon Taribo West.
Victor Evo West. Yes. Football Manager 0102 legend.
I purchased
60 goals a season for centre back.
You what?
Get you 60 goals a season from centre back.
Where did I go to? I purchased last year a 2 terabyte one for my One X, and that was 60 quid. A 2 terabyte. What? Are we talking about hard drives? I think I've missed something in there. Do you know what? I'll keep going. I agree with Bibby. Game Pass is just OP. PS Plus needs to do something if they want people to pay for it. Some great games in the collection. If people haven't played them, then they're in for a treat. How much is Game Pass for the year? Mine runs out next month, so I'll definitely be renewing it. Has the price gone up? It's monthly, mate. Ultimate $10.99 a month, includes gold. Yeah.
The Ultimate's an amazing deal because you get to play them on PC as well.
I mean, it does work out expensive if you kind of figure it out. So $10.99 a month, £11 a month, we'll call it. So for 10 months, that's 110 quid. Add an extra 132 quid for the year. Quite expensive on the surface, because I've just renewed my PS Plus in the Amazon Black Friday sales. 37 quid is what it cost me. So it's about 100 quid more expensive than PS Plus. But if you can split it down to $10.99 a month and you want to play the best games as they come out, then it's still an absolute bargain. If you play the games that are in the Xbox ecosystem, Halo will come out. You'll get that on day one. Gears 5 came out last year. You got that on day one. So any new Xbox family releases will cost you 70 quid on the next generation, potentially. Xbox haven't announced their prices, but we'll just say they are. So buy 2 of those games and you're already quids in by just doing it that way. So it is a lot of money if you break it down, but if you break the value for it, it's a lot of money, but it's better value than it is for buying games, which is why it's the best deal in gaming. And with that $10.99, you get your live subscription, so you're not spending that extra 37 quid. On PS Plus, if I want the PS Plus collection, I spend my 37 quid to get access to PS Plus, and I get those games for free as long as I'm a PS Plus subscriber, and I don't have to pay extra for the monthly subscription, but I don't get any new games with it. That's just a limited, that's what you get, and there is no more. You'll get extra games per month, but one game usually of value and another game is usually the way it kind of works, so it's good.
Yeah.
I thought you could buy a year pass. They used to have year passes, but they started to phase those out because they want to go into the that Netflix style subscription service. I get in 3-month stages when discounted on CD keys or whenever hot UK deals or stuff. I think that's the main the limit now, isn't? Is that right? Pop Bank, they used to do 12s, but they started to phase it. Did they phase 12 and 6 months out, and they just had 1 to 3 months now, or is it 1, 3, and 6? I remember we covered it about 6 months ago. They changed the number of months. Anyway, there was a conversation around PS5s, and this is the one that Baby said that I should potentially segue into, but we'll segue into that now. So, just press the wrong button. Hey! There we go. So this is written by Michael Beckwith at Metro, and it says, PS5 download bugs can be fixed without a complete reset. So for those of you who don't know, those that have or don't have PS5s, there has been some technical issues. Obviously, there was an issue. There was a comment in chat. I did scroll up to try to see it. There we go, from Gary. Don't put your PS5 in rest mode as it's broken. So a few people that have put their games in rest mode. I've seen it with Miles Morales. I don't know if it's happens with other games. It probably does, I imagine. But putting your game into rest mode can cause it to trip up, which then means it rebuilds the database as you start the console up again. So putting your PlayStation in rest mode to charge your pads and things, as most people probably will do, especially when it's a new console, could have issues. So don't put your PS5 in rest mode, says Gary. Is there an official announcement on that, or is that just something that the community have just kind of realised together? I'm not sure, but the other one that is the official announcement is this one. Sony has provided a solution to a PS5 issue that made it near impossible for owners to download their games. Last week, not long after the PS5's initial launch in certain regions, some owners began reporting that they had encountered a rather nasty bug. The bug in question would prevent games from downloading, essentially trapping them in a weird limbo that made the console simultaneously think that you had and hadn't purchased the game. At first, the only solution for this was to perform a factory reset, but since this deletes everything off the PS5 and effectively makes it as if you just got it out of the box, it wasn't an ideal solution. However, Sony has now addressed the issue, and the solution is to update the console to the latest system software and then start the PlayStation 5 in safe mode. To do this, you need to press and hold the power button that turns the console on, but not let go until you hear a second beep. Once it's on, choose to rebuild database, which simply reorganizes and freshens the system files without deleting anything, and the issue should be resolved. While the problem doesn't appear to be plaguing everyone, we never experienced the issue on our PS5, it's clearly fairly common if Sony has had to step in and acknowledge it. So there you go, there's a tweet there from Sony saying, their Ask PlayStation account says, if you've experienced issues downloading games or queued for download or view details messages on PS5, please update the system software to the latest version, start your PS5 in safe mode, and then rebuild the database. See PS5 safe mode options at the link within the embedded tweet. There you go. So, it sounds like a little bit of a cache clearing issue kind of thing to me. But anyway, Bib, PS5 bugs, thoughts?
I must be one of the lucky ones that hasn't had one yet. The only UI thing that I had was that it was showing something on PUBG, which I kept on deleting and had to reinstall the game twice, like a divvy. But that's the only issue I had. That was literally just a UI, something that you ended up telling me how to do. But luckily, I'm bug free as it stands. I haven't had any problems with it, but it's clearly a problem that's been plaguing the community because PlayStation wanted to tweet about it. So hopefully, this will help you. I mean, this is more of an information article, really. If anyone is that's out there, either our American friends from across the pond who are listening to this tomorrow morning, or you guys that are in the chat now, if you are having troubles, this is probably the easiest and best way to be able to get going as fast as possible without having to re-download everything again. So it's good that PlayStation have acknowledged that they've got a problem. I hope that this is something that they do going forward, rather than leaving the community to find out how to do stuff via Reddit or 4chan or whatever it is that they're using to try and find out their problems. But yeah, it's a nice little thing for you.
Just jumping back to the chat, Popbank did answer my question saying, I'm sure you can get more than 3 months, but 3 months at around 25 quid is a bargain for Ultimate Pass. Absolutely is. 3
Agreed.
months, yeah, absolute bargain. Still, good call, Popbank. Yeah, I think I did see you can get 3 months worth of it still. Keep up the good work, Popbank. Hey, I know a few people have had this issue, says Asim. Nothing for me yet, and I've been using rest mode because I'm a daredevil like that. I had the database rebuild thing on the first time I put it into rest mode. So on the Thursday, I got it. I played Astro's Playroom until whatever time, finished it, turned the PlayStation off, have 2 controllers. So one was plugged in whilst I was playing, plugged the other one in, put it into rest mode, and came back the next morning. I had to do a database rebuild, so it went to that like almost DOS looking screen while it did that. It hasn't done it since. I have had it in rest mode and not in rest mode over the weekend, and haven't had it again. So yeah, there you go. I'm a Daredevil too. Not quite to your levels, but yeah, close. I think I've been lucky too. I haven't had an issue with my PS5. I imagine it'll all be patched out pretty quickly. Just something to be aware of. Maybe avoid, if possible, putting your consoles in rest mode. Although it's not something that's plaguing everyone. So even if you do, and even if you continue, even if you have been, and even if you continue to put your console in rest mode, it probably won't matter to a lot of people out there anyway. And the download bug, another slight issue. This is the thing with next generation stuff. I have seen some external issues with the next gen, and it was something along the lines of Ubisoft in-game downloads. I'm trying to remember who it was. Someone on my timeline was trying to download something. It was something like Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the next gen or something like that from the last gen, and it wouldn't download it. It was like it was almost that sort of like limbo of you can and can't download it. Maybe it was that. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, there you go. Start of a new gen. Everything's amazing. Bells and whistles. Woo! Until you get in, you realise it's actually usually eggs need to be cracked to make an omelette. But it is what it is. I well thought I heard knocking then. There must be some outside. I don't know. Anyway, let's move ahead. We will stick. I'm hearing knocking. I think it's next door doing some banging. If you can hear an occasional thud, then that's what it is. It's window cleaner. That's what it is.
Funnily enough, ours has just been. That shit me right up as well. That's why the cat jumped on the windowsill.
Just a brush going up and down the window in front of me.
I can hear that now. Yeah, now you mention
it. Anyway, let's jump.
Have you lever on the window?
No, it's like upstairs. One of those like brushes on a stick. Hey.
Oh, the old reach and wash.
Oh yes. Okay, sticking with PlayStation because all the news is about PlayStation at the moment. I mean, did the new console come out just at the end of last week? Seems like it did. But anyway, Andy Robinson at VGC has this article that says Spider-Man PS4 saves can now be transferred to the PS5 remaster. Woo! Plus, Insomniac fixes rest mode crash and more. Okay, there we go. Didn't realise that this had stuff about bugs in it as well. But anyway, Insomniac Games has released an update for Marvel Spider-Man, which will allow the transfer of save files to the PS5 remaster. Upgrades for both PS4 and PS5 games were released overnight and allow players to manually export their saved files from last-gen title and then import them on PS5. Just to be clear, you must use the PS4 game to export your save. Remastered cannot see a save until it is exported by the PS4 game, explained community manager James Stevenson. The Spider-Man Remastered update also includes many additional fixes, Insomniac said, including the resolution of a crash which occurred when putting the game into rest mode. On PS4, the Spider-Man update adds 3 new suits from the remaster. Currently, the only way to access Spider-Man Remastered is via the £70 Spider-Man Miles Morales Ultimate Edition, which comes bundled with a download code for Remastered and all 3 installments of the City That Never Sleeps DLC. Current gen owners who purchase Miles Morales can upgrade to the standard next-gen version for free or pay an additional $20 to receive the Ultimate version, which includes the remaster. Sony said in September that it has no plans currently to offer Marvel Spider-Man Remastered as a standalone release. Bib, thoughts?
This is obviously a massive, in my eyes, a massive story because one of the biggest gripes I think from the Spider-Man community was that they had to restart this game again when it comes to the remastered stuff. They can experience it in its best and purest form. However, they will have to start again. The one little gripe I've got about this is that they didn't mention that this will potentially be happening. because people may have started this and got another 20 hours into this game, and then now they're being told that actually the save that you had from your PlayStation 4, you can actually bring that over. So I understand maybe why they didn't tell people in case it's something that they couldn't do, but just to say we're currently investigating or looking into potentially bringing it over. Stay tuned. But no, obviously this has just dropped up on us. The biggest thing to take away from this as well is that they fixed the crash, which was going into rest mode, which we mentioned earlier. But yeah, I think this is absolutely massive news, especially if you are someone who completed this on the PlayStation 4 but never got round to doing the DLCs. You can now have this ported over. You don't have to buy the DLCs; it's bundled in, and you get to continue your story with the DLC campaign on your PlayStation 5. And again, it's purest and best form. It's just a shame that they didn't, in my opinion, state that this was something that they're potentially trying to look at, just to have that extra little bit of transparency so that someone hasn't potentially wasted 15, 20 hours of their life getting to a point that they already had on their PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it would be nice to have had the warning in advance. I mean, I haven't started Spider-Man, so it doesn't fuss me anyway. I mean, I have, but I'm going to start again. But yeah,
not far along into it to even be bothered about it.
Yeah. If I'd have been halfway through and I'd started again, I'd be like, I could have just saved myself all of that time. That said, there is the benefit of it still within a few days of launch, and there's still shitloads of people that haven't had their hands on consoles. So it's still pretty speedy in the grand scheme of things, just not for the people that are finger on the pulse, switched on, and are fully into it now. But do you know what? Better later than never. So GG's, boys. GG's. Jumping in the chat, Joystick Junkies says, think I've been lucky too. I haven't had any issues with my PS5. The only thing I found annoying is mine automatically tried downloading the PS4 version and PS5 version of Cold War, which basically filled the storage up. Easy problem, just delete the PS4 version. Yeah, that I think that will be something that gets patched out pretty quickly as well. Not patched out in terms of downloading both, but patched out in terms of making it clearer or easier to just default to PS5. Get away with the PS4. I've got a PS5. I'm in the next gen. Stop making me live in the last gen as well. Get out of here. So yeah, we did cover that one last week. So it's not a problem. It's just an annoyance. Which annoyances are the bits that we take for granted as we get towards the end of a generation. We've had 7 years of getting rid of annoyances, whereas we're moving to a next generation. There's whole new annoyances that we never even thought were problems, and some of the old ones might have crept back in as well. So that kind of stuff will be squashed. Gary says, I've only had one issue so far on the PS5, and that was one crash whilst playing Miles Morales. Spider-Man Remastered will become available to purchase on its own at some point. The reason why they aren't offering it at the moment is that they want those Miles Morales sales. Yeah, absolutely. Same thing with COD 4 Modern Warfare Remastered. Nope. You have to buy Infinite Advanced Super Biological Futuristic Warfare to get COD Remastered. Yeah, but I only want... Yeah, well, I'm sorry, mate. It's just, yeah, can you not just... I could do, but it's just there. Just there. You have to buy that game. Okay, fine, I'll buy the game. Oh, by the way, we're bringing this out. Do you want to buy this as a standalone game? Yeah. No, I don't actually want it now because I've bought fucking Advanced Infinite Super Biological Futuristic Warfare. Oh, okay. Well, we'll put it free on PS Plus then, just to make it even more painful for you. So yeah, it will come out at some point. I agree. There are no plans yet, but you can see the press release already. Due to the demand, we've decided. Which, go for it. Absolutely go for it. There's money to be made. Make it. Well, if they got their PS5. Did you see the story about Amazon delivery drivers nicking them? It was on Eurogamer. I didn't see that one. I did have that story kind of... I don't know if you were in the stream when I got my PS5. Jordan, Enix, I don't know if you see it. Enix, I don't know if you see it this morning, but he dropped in, said his mate was... I mean, I may be quoting this wrong, but I'll tell you it the way I understood it. His mate was waiting for his PS5 to be delivered. The delivery truck pulls up out of the front, so his mate started to video it as if like yeah, boys, PS5's here. The delivery driver got out of the truck with the box, took a picture, like did the I'm here delivering the console kind of picture that delivery drivers have to do. Took the picture, stuck it back in his van, and fecked off with it. Imagine filming the guy coming along, going, hey, it's back. Oh, just as he toddles off down the road with it.
I watched the video.
Yeah,
how did that not go viral?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, there has to be a caveat with that in terms of I'm going off of what he's been told, and he might be going off what was said as well. If that is real, it's so far-fetched that surely it's not real. Surely? The famous cat litter instead of a PS5 article. Yeah, some woman got a fryer instead of a PS5. Basically, Amazon switched what was inside the box.
How much was the fryer?
Not enough.
Was it an expensive fryer? Was it like a 20-litre pressure cooker? I don't know.
Let's have a look at this. I'll open up the article.
These are the big questions.
I haven't checked the article, so I'm assuming it's TOS safe. Ask him. I'm checking. Tom Phillips at Eurogamer says Amazon PlayStation 5 customers report receiving toys, cat food, or simply nothing at all. Update, Amazon acknowledges issue and pledges to put it right. In a statement to Eurogamer, Amazon has acknowledged the widespread spread issues with its PlayStation 5 deliveries and pledged it will put it right for every customer who gets in contact. We're all about making our customers happy, and that hasn't happened for a small portion of these orders, an Amazon spokesperson told us. We're really sorry about that and are investigating exactly what's happened. We're reaching out to every customer who's had a problem. Do you know what? Actually, I'll stop there because this is just the update. Fine, you'll fix it. The original story, 2 hours before that, said, imagine securing a PS5 for launch day, anxiously waiting for your console to arrive and then open its box to find a kitchen appliance instead. Or cat food, or nothing ever being delivered at all, despite your order being marked as completed. That's what's happened to a number of Amazon UK customers over the past 24 hours, in a situation which has left people trying to get a refund, and with PS5 stock severely limited, the task of finding a console all over again. The first sporadic reports of the wrong items being delivered initially seemed too unlikely to be true, but they kept on appearing late into last night before the issue started to blow up more widely today. Additionally, within Eurogamer, we've now heard from friends and colleagues personally affected. The wrong items in each box are different, but the accounts are similar. A delayed delivery, then an Amazon box with clear tape rather than the company's usual branded seal. Push Square managing director Anthony Dickens was one of those affected, alongside MTV journalist and presenter Bex April May. Do you know, I'm going to click this. Let's see what happens. What's the image going to be? So this is his Amazon box. So Amazon looks like someone has stolen my day late PS5. Right out of box, wrong item. Clicking it. A Nerf gun. Someone's nerfed his PS5 order. Wow, absolute heartbreak. Oh.
Must be able to try and find out who it is that's done this, because like they say that if at companies like this, surely they'll have the people who have been roped in to do certain picking and packing locations. Like, who's the person that's picked it, put it into the box, sellotaped it? Who's the person that's took it to the van? Who's the driver? So there should be somewhere in between. You should be able to find out who these people are. Like, there's no way that they could be able to get away with this. Imagine the CCTV that's inside the Amazon warehouse as well.
Sorry,
that is mental.
I was just opening up Bex April May, the journalist's content. I wanted to see her tweet her images, and she's put, happy PS5 day everyone. Tried to document our one's unveiling, but Amazon have tricked us. Imagine filming your unboxing to get an air fryer instead. That is incredible. Oh my god. Let's watch this. 8 seconds of open air fryer. Yeah, you would be gutted. I mean, there's a reason the video's only 8 seconds long, and that's because she is losing her shit. Imagine. All right, boys. Yep, just got the box. As you cut it open, whop open the lid, and then you just got like a George Foreman sat there staring at you. Absolute rage. Oh god.
Okay.
Link there. Yeah, we've just gone over it. Cheers for the link. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Yes, I was. I remember it. The driver took a pic and then stole. Yeah, ridiculous. The chips she made in the fryer were legit, but unfortunately she couldn't play Demon's Souls on it. After my recent incident in regards to delivery drivers, I would not be shocked if it wasn't true. I bet it was the Xbox boss that had some rogue Amazon employees in his pocket. I got it right. Yes. I wonder how widespread the Amazon issue is, though, as if it's several depots, it could be more tricky to stop the crime. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, clearly there is an issue with their system. If people can make those changes so easily, like these boxes not having that Amazon tape that has like the thread stitched into it so it's longer. Both of these boxes have got clear tape. Have these drivers got spare boxes? that they've been able to stick packaging on, because once that tape comes on, it's a ball ache to get off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not sure what's happening there, because whatever it is, if it's happening across the network, there is a flaw in their system that these people are exploiting. And like Baby says, surely there has to be a way for those drivers or whoever's on the rotor to be checked off as in, okay, you done dirty here. Surely there has to be a way. Surely.
I think so.
David says PS5 already chipped. Really?
Surely not.
I mean,
surely not.
Wouldn't surprise me, to be fair, within a few days.
Then again, it's been out for 2 weeks now, including America, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose, and Japan as well. It wouldn't surprise me if it's already chipped and they found ways to get around it. The thing with early chips on consoles, be them major consoles or handhelds, the early chips are usually the ones that will end up bricking your consoles, because all they need to do is change one thing at their end, and then, well, that's it, console gone. There we go. I'll get you, David. It's in the air fryer. See, that was that pun was too clever. Too clever.
Yeah.
That was good.
Wrote me in, you bastard.
There, asked him. I think David was making a pun. Wow. Straight over the head. GG. People were robbing delivery vans as well. 2 in the same place got robbed. Ass hats. Anyway, let's wrap things up.
The driver's going to take some blame there as well.
To be fair, though, if I was a driver and I had a van full of packages, or someone was going to come for me, I'd be like, whatever, since you would take it. I'm not going to fucking start and get assholed for. I mean, especially as a driver, you probably hate your job as well, doing all these rounds, overworked, constantly on the meter. You've pulled up on the side of the road. What are you doing? I'm having a slash because I never had time to go. So you get going now. So yeah, the drivers, I don't blame. I'd well be like, take it. It's fine. Save me the rest of the journey. I can just go back to the depot. Job's good. I'd be gutted if I got a kitchen appliance. I'm just pissed at games. Still waiting for my third 3D Pulse headset, which got dispatched on the 10th. Still not here. Gutted. See, I want the Pulse headset. There's no way for audio to pass through and use it on the stream. So I might get a Pulse headset for the setup downstairs, and then stick to normal audio setup upstairs. I don't like the Astro Splitter, if I'm honest. It's not flawless because it sits on the HDMI. My TV doesn't detect my PlayStation as a console. It detects it as a home theater audio setup. So yeah, the Pulse audio going on the PlayStation, sticking the PlayStation. Do you know, it means I need another PS5. One for up here, one for downstairs. There we go. 3D Pulse headset is great, by the way. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard the 3D audio is good just on normal headsets too, which is another thing I can't use because I'm using my Astro headset. Fry Station 5. That sounds like a Soldier Boy console. Or the KFC one. That's what the KFC gaming console is, the Fry Station. But anyway, let's move forward. Last story of the day, written by Sherif Saed at VG247, says Doom Eternal is still coming to Switch, but only digitally. Doom Eternal is still on the way to Nintendo Switch. The Switch version of Doom Eternal was announced right alongside other platforms, but has yet to actually come out. Earlier this week, GameStop began cancelling pre-orders for the Switch port, leading many to believe it has been cancelled. Not the case, apparently, as Bethesda has now confirmed that only the physical version of Doom Eternal on Switch has been cancelled. The game is still on track for release on Nintendo's console, though only digitally. It also sounds like we'll be able to play it sooner rather than later. Bethesda confirmed these details to IGN after news of cancelled pre-orders spooked fans. While Doom Eternal is 100% on track for an imminent digital-only release on Nintendo Switch, the absence of a physical release at retail resulted in cancelled pre-orders, a Bethesda representative told the site. The publisher did not, however, say when the game will be released. So far, at least, it seems to be on track for 2020, though we're rapidly running out of days. So, nominated for Game of the Year, Doom Eternal. At the time, we were told that it would be coming out with a Switch version. That obviously did get delayed. It's still coming, just only digitally. So if you were hoping to get your hands on a physical cartridge, not going to happen. Bib, thoughts?
Yeah. Do I think that this surprises me? That's the question, because I'm in two minds. Probably not. I'd like to see how much the original Doom sold on the Nintendo Switch, because I think this would give you a good insight as to how they think that this may go or may sell on the Nintendo Switch. If they're making it digital only, the manufacturing costs are obviously been completely removed, and it'll just be how much it costs to license this product onto the Nintendo Switch eShop to be sold on there. So I think maybe it's a logistical thing because of COVID, and they don't have the manpower to be able to get this in production on a cartridge and distributed. Or it comes down to cost and how much they think that this will potentially sell on Nintendo Switch. I can't imagine it'll come anywhere close to even the third best platform that it will be being sold on, taking into account PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. And obviously, you got 2 SKUs on a PlayStation and an Xbox that this would have reached, as well as a PC. So then again, it'll probably be the 6th best console for it to be sold out of 6. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It's unfortunate. Would I think that this is going to get sold by Limited Run Games at some point to have a physical copy? Absolutely. There is every single chance that this will be listed by Limited Run Games, who will just buy the license, reprint them, 500 copies, buy now for the collector's items. I think that'll probably be the way that they go for it.
Yeah. I think the fact that it's so long after the game, I mean, we were going to do a launch event for Doom a million years ago. That obviously stopped for COVID reasons. So we're so far after that now. So any event, any physical stuff around it, the fact that that has led to physical versions of a game that came out basically 12 months previously. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that it's only going digital, but it's still there. It's still there. And if anything, this year has proven that digital is this is the year for digital. So it's kind of a smart move from Bethesda in terms of they do get to see. I mean, there are some titles Bethesda is like what's the one you call that you've got 7,000 copies on? That's on the Switch, right? Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim. Yeah.
So they do have the idea of some games being on Switch. That said, Skyrim is a completely different beast to Doom.
I've got the physical version as well, so they did obviously bring that out on a cartridge.
Yeah, this will give them some idea of how successful Doom as a particular standalone series will be on Switch. If it does sell very well, then yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, even if we don't have limited run games, if we have Doom go... Do you know what? Actually, it sold exceptionally well. We can put a batch together. We will release some. If it doesn't, they'll just sit and go, okay, that was good. We know that we did sell a good chunk of them. Physical would probably help that to an extent going forward. So it's a nice risk-free move from Bethesda just to see demand for sales. It's doomed, says Gary. Doom eShop Eternal. I mean, the thing is, with it being digital, I mean, the physical sales, that they are obviously finite. You can only buy as many as there are. If you're buying digitally, there is an eternal number of copies of the game for you to purchase.
Hey.
All these puns and amount of you just slaying. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I apologize. Faster 2020 says, so far I want to kill myself. Is this Doom related? Do you like it that much? Don't worry, you can still get it. It's digital. Or is it or is this just, you know, a reference on mine and Baby's presenting styles? Because it could be one or the other. I mean, it's fine. It's fine.
There is every single chance it's the latter.
But don't worry, it's fine if it is the latter. This is the end of the scoop. So thank you everyone for joining us throughout the day so far. We're just about hitting lunchtime, and it's been a good morning. A lot of news and a lot of comments and conversations. Thank you everyone for being involved with the comments. We appreciate it. We genuinely do. We are going to wrap things up though, and we will jump back on with some Masters of the League. So if you want to see some PES modded PC Master League, so we'll forget about the consoles for now. We're going to play on PC. If you want to see some Master League, then join us in around 10-15 minutes. We will go off. We'll come back all green screened to the max and bring you some modded Master League on PC. PES 2020. Not 2021, 2020, because, you know, we're 4 seasons in. God. So, yeah, we'll see you there. Before we do disappear, though, couple of reminders. I didn't do it at the start of the show. I'll give you a little bit of a break for it. But reminders. Exclamation mark giveaway in the chat will let you know that we are giving things away. We hit 2K followers the other day and we're giving away a number of games. Thanks to the guys at 2K and thanks to the team at Muscle Moose for providing us with the Muscle Moose selection box. So those can be won. A copy of PGA 2K21, WWE 2K Battlegrounds and the Mafia Trilogy, as well as that selection box, can be won just by typing in exclamation mark giveaway into the chat and following the link, doing the bits that you need to. And the other bit is that if you're a subscriber, we are inching closer to our Cyberpunk 2077 giveaway. So we are giving away a copy of Cyberpunk 2077 to one subscriber. All you need to do is be a sub, be in a Discord, and have your accounts linked so that we can see you in the loot drop section. If you're in the loot drop section, you could win the loot drop, and the odds of winning that are incredibly high because not many people do that. So make sure you do it, and you can walk away with a copy of Cyberpunk guaranteed on Monday the 7th. Obviously, the game doesn't come out actually until the 10th, so you won't get it until after that. But still, you know what I mean. Anyway, we're going to disappear. Before we do though, Bib, anything you want to add?
Yeah, again, thank you very much for each and every one of you that have joined today. If you do want to have your voice heard on this podcast, there's a couple of ways that you can do it. First of all, just join us in the chat. We'll read out all your comments, your concerns, and everything else in between. The main way, though, if you do see any video game news knocking around the social media platform of your choice, we will include that. But all you need to do is find us on our social media platforms. It's at Ice Cream Uploads across absolutely everything, as well as joining us in our Discord. There's an area in there called The Scoop. All you need to do is drop in the URL and your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions in the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
The time tomorrow for next show will be 10 a.m. Ish. Very much ish in the chat. There you go. Thank you very much. We are going to disappear. We'll be back in 10 to 15 with Masters of the League. Until then,
Yeah,